Okay, so we're going to take a look at Leg's gameplay. So if I look at Discord, I have Dorado Comp 2500 main is 2800 Lucio main submitted November 1st. I feel like it didn't do well because of FPS drops and ping spikes. Okay, so FPS drops and ping spikes, you're going to tell me your mechanics, not necessarily your game sense and positioning. But we'll take a look. So, looking at, I believe this is Ana, right? Skip a little forward.
Never.
Okay, so let's wait until...
5.
So, okay. Take a look at what we have.
Ahlan. 5. 4.
So we have a Hanzo. I'm sorry, Hanzo. We have an Ana, a Mercy, a Genji. Take a look here. Okay, so we have Ryan, Hammond, Genji, Ana, Sombra, Mercy. So the first thing I'm paying attention to is what your team comp is, right? So if I take a look at your team comp, I see that. If I take a look at your team comp, I see that we have a Genji, a Sombra. So immediately, that's telling me low damage. Okay, fine. Low damage. So a lot of what's gonna revolve around your success here is gonna have to do a lot with your synergies and timing your ults. So you're gonna need to cycle your ults very, very well here. You don't have many offensive things going on. You have EMP, you have Shatter, you have Blade, and then you have Nano for whatever. Mine is for zoning here, but it's gonna be hard for you guys to take advantage of zoning anything because you don't have the comp necessary. You guys have a very dynamic comp aside from Ana and aside from Reinhardt. So those are that's the biggest thing that I'm noticing right off the bat. The Mercy mix is, she's going to be doing a lot of solo healing here, so positioning is going to really matter here. But let's keep going and let's see what we got. So let's fast forward a little bit.
Stop the payload.
Ryan, Hanzo, Genji. G. I'm gonna hack Ryan.
Just a scratch.
JK, I hacked more one.
Oh.
Okay.
Bamboozled.
So immediately the first thing I'm paying attention to is your positioning. So right here, you're too far back. You should be holding up here. Should be holding about right up here. There's no reason for you to be this far back right now. You have a Sombra out here. Your Genji's starting to become aggressive, so that you need to transition out here. Because you have the range and your second healer is a Mercy, you need to take care of range targets. Your Mercy, for her to take care of range targets, is going to involve her basically diving out into the fight, diving out of position, diving out just in general to take care of things. So immediately, looking at that, is you should basically be up here with your Ryan, taking care of the Genji, and as your Ryan transitions into here, you start your transition this way. That's the first thing that I'm noticing, but let's keep it going.
G. I'm gonna hack Ryan.
Just a scratch.
JK, I hacked more one.
Oh.
I got bamboozled. Not bad.
This is going to hurt. Take your We still need it. Heal up. Get back in the fight.
Okay, so this is another thing. Your positioning here. So let's take a look at my banana maps real quick. So let's take a look at where you are. You're on Dorado. LegVod. Okay, so we're about here, right? So the biggest thing I'm paying attention to is what's going on. So your positioning right now, you're currently about right here. This is you. You have the rest of your team somewhere over here, right? And you have the enemy team. We're gonna make them pink. Enemy team is somewhere. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. Did that in the wrong one. My bad. Your position, click this real quick. Lower blue. So this is you. So you're about right here. You have allied team, it's about here. And you have enemy team right here. Okay. So the two tanks here, you have your Rhine, have enemy Rhine. The biggest thing wrong with your positioning right now is that you're actually not even here. You're more like right here. This is you. The biggest thing going on with your positioning is that you're basically, you have no cover. You are in direct line of taking damage from fire strikes, taking damage from poke, taking damage from anything that's going to be flying through this choke. So we're going to use orange. Actually, no, we will use hot pink to represent damage going through chokes. Okay? So you have all the enemy damage flying through this way, down this little stretch onto you. Now, you could ask, like, well, why does that matter? Because you're a healer, you can heal yourself. The problem is you healing yourself takes resources away from your front line. So if you bionic yourself, that takes bionic away from your front line. It also takes you the ability to use any offensive bionics away from your front line. Now you have a Mercy. If your Mercy has to spend time healing you, that means that Mercy is not she's not healing up front, which is more important. So what you need to do as a healer is your positioning needs to be you're maximizing your output, the amount of healing you're doing, and minimizing the amount of damage you're taking. Because the more damage you take, the more resources that need to be used on you, when your job is to be using those resources for your front line. So that's the one thing I noticed. So in reality, you should be either positioned behind here with cover. You could be over here, poking this way. You could be, if you wanted to, this is kind of far back. You could be back here. This is a good spot. You could just back a line. But this spot right here, holding here, is not great. But let's continue.
Oh no. Attack for G.
Right. No powered up. Get in there. Get healed.
For G1.
Okay, so this is the next thing I'm noticing. As you're playing, you are spending a lot of time. You're spending a lot of time no-scoping. No-scoping is harder with Ana, obviously, but like you need to be spending your time. Every shot you miss is very, very valuable on Ana. Every shot you miss is bad because you have 14 shots. The more time you spend trying to no-scope someone, the more you miss. Those are more shots that you miss, less ult that you can build. Whoops. Less ult that you can build right here. In turn, now it's longer reload time. So what you need to be doing is I'm noticing you don't spend any time fast scoping. Maybe that'll change throughout the rest of the VOD, and if we get there, we get there. But you need to spend time fast scoping. I'm not sure if you know what fast scoping is, but I will launch Overwatch real quick just to demonstrate it. It's highly, highly valuable. It's much better than just basically, what do you call it? It's much more valuable than just kind of no-scoping willy-nilly. It's really important, and it's something I'd recommend you do. So let's take a quick look at fast scoping real quick. It shouldn't take too quick. I'll just hop into custom real quick. There. Okay. So with Ana, you have a couple rates of fire, right? So you have here we are. So you have first and foremost you have no scope, right, which is projectile, right? You have hidden scan, which is scoped. You notice the delay, right? And then fast scoping is in between. So fast scoping is where you get the accuracy of hit scan, you get the accuracy of being scoped, but the timing of hip firing like this. And so essentially it's very quickly allows you to aim and focus onto your target. Okay, so a lot of times fast scoping is really, really recommended. So for example, the further back you are, the harder it is to hit no scopes. But essentially if I'm sitting back here and my bot, let's see, is right there, Fast scoping is really useful in this case because, you know, I might be able to just pop him like that. Okay. Ideally, it's you want to time your shot right when the animation for your scope finishes. You don't want to spend time doing this all the time. This is recommended when you're just single target healing, but for the most part, I'm noticing when you're playing against and you're playing, especially with heroes like Genji, super mobile heroes, no scoping is very difficult unless you're like right in front of them, you know. But it's a lot easier to just look at your Genji and try to fast scope them, so that it forces you to kind of aim onto your Genji, quick scope, and then left click. And so if you time it correctly, like that, okay. So let's go back to here. Meet Overwatch. Okay, so let's go back. Sorry. Where's this guy? Cool. Alright, so say we're back here.
Rendezvous at my position.
Gonna hack, Moira. Moira hack. Hanzo 1.
So the biggest thing I'm also noticing too is, like, I haven't heard you say anything. I don't know if you have it, Mike. But I haven't heard you say, maybe on this VOD your mic is muted, I'm not sure. But I have not heard you say a thing in this match. That's important. Your tanks and your DPS need to know your line of sight. They need to know your positioning. They need to know what you have, what you don't have at all times. By this time, it's approximately. Oh, that's fine. You know, no. You need to be talking. So if I'm playing, for example, I'm constantly calling out what's going on, and I recommend you do this. I recommend you do it in calls of 2. So when I play, for example, I always go like this. You know, I'll be like, hey, you know, here's my line of sight. I'm holding back. So maybe this is the choke that we're talking about. I may be positioned here, and I'm going to say that bot right there is my right, right? I'll be like, hey, bot, like, or not hey, bot, but, hey, like, I'm positioned in the back, so if you're not there, then I can't heal you. I can't do anything for you. So a lot of times what I'm going to do is I'll heal, and let me just, you know, use a bunch of shots. Let me say I get down to, let's say I get down to 1, right? I have 1 shot left. I will tell my teammate, hey, I shot, I'm reloading. And I typically, when I make my calls, I say them about 2 to 3 times. I feel that the first time when you make a call, your teammates may be involved. For example, say you're a nanobladed Genji and you're over here just striking and doing your thing, you might be in the zone. And so when you hear a call, you may recognize that a call has been made, but maybe you didn't quite hear it. Maybe you don't know. Maybe it got your attention, but you don't know what was said. So repeating it that second or third time oftentimes will give you the power over comms, but it forces your team to recognize it. Because if I tell you, you know, hey, I slept bot, maybe you didn't hear me. Maybe you heard me say something, but you don't know what it was. But if I say, hey, I slept bot over here by me. Notice how, like, all of a sudden, I've taken control of the comms. You're forced to listen to me, so you might head over and come help me. You know, say my bot is low over there, then I might try to heal him. I'll be like, hey, I have anti, I have nade, I have nade in 3, I have nade, I'm trucking nade, boom. That'll tell my teammate, like, okay, he has some sort of utility to be able to get me out of a sticky situation, so let me not do anything stupid and let me survive this, you know. Or, hey, Genji, I'm building nano, I'm gonna nano you, okay, I nano you, I'm pocketing you, go. Something like that, you know. Just to give yourself power over comms, force this team to pay attention to you, and from there you go forward. Okay, but let's continue.
I can hear Hanzo.
Good.
I hacked, Ryan. I mean,
So all through here is you've missed shot after shot, and this is where I would rarely recommend hard scoping or just fast scoping.
Watching your back.
Your star is -1.
See how hard it is for you to hit that Genji? Like, you seem pretty averse to wanting to scope in. It's something I'd really recommend. So right now your team is playing too aggressive. There's no reason for you guys to be out here like this.
I got Hanzo. I avenged you. Yeah, I'm gonna ult here. I'm gonna ult here. Yeah. One tick corner right now. No.
Good anti. Very good anti.
No. Hey, Genji behind. He's weak.
Yeah, I see your frames, Earl.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine. Be committed. Watching your back. You're powered up. Get in there.
Oh my god, this Hanzo. Ryan.
You're covered. Keep healing.
I hacked Genji. Oh, Hanzo.
Move up.
Same point.
Heroes never die.
Nice. Hack the Very nice, guys. I have almost all. I'm gonna farm it. Almost.
You move up with me.
Ryan. Man, dude, this Genji.
The payload has reached the checkpoint. I'll rest when the fighting is done.
Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead because a lot of this, what I'm noticing right now, is your mechanicality. Your aim isn't there, but I'm wondering if that's a lot of it might just have to do with your lag. So I'm gonna skip ahead to your Zen, that I see up in here. And then if it's the same issue of mechanicality, then I'm probably gonna do a very short VOD and just go with the stuff that I already mentioned. Because it's not gonna do me any good to VOD review this if I don't see your actual gameplay on like a normal, non-laggy like situation. Okay, because I can tell some of this is struggling just due to lag. So I'm gonna skip ahead here to here. Okay, this is good. So right now you have strong positioning. For this moment, this is strong positioning. Eventually, I would like to see, before this fight takes off, I would like to see you rotate over to this angle, over here, take this side. But this is a good, nice little sight line that you have to peek and try to build your Discord. Problem is, once they cross this angle, you're kind of fucked, in terms of getting any shots off. But I would like to see you rotate, but maybe, we will see. This is good positioning. I wasn't expecting you guys to win that fight. Sorry, I didn't see the arrow on the screen.
I'm bad, dude. I'm bad. I was invisible. I'm pissed. We can win this. We can win this.
Yeah, there's a lot of lag going on. I'm gonna skip a lot further ahead. I'm gonna see if it's fixed later in the VOD.
Not bad. At least you have a Winston this round. Last time
Okay, your frames look better, so I think we're okay here. It looks smoother. So I'm gonna review this part. Then I encourage you to resubmit some Honor or Zen gameplay if you'd like me to review. But I'm gonna go from here. I'm gonna skip this portion because it's just really laggy, and it's not gonna do me very well to really understand how you play if it's just really laggy. Or maybe not. Maybe I have to wait for people. I don't think it's fixed.
The Genji's on Anna. He used grenades.
Maybe it is. We'll see. It looks better, so we'll just do it. It looks better. Okay, I like the peel. I like the peel.
Ryan one.
Okay. Your Ryan. So in this situation, your Ryan needs to drop, but I'm not sure why he's still up here.
Dude, I'm gonna die.
Okay, okay. You guys have held here for too long. I'm not sure why your Ryan is still up here. You guys need to transition.
You guys should have rotated a year ago.
Yeah, like the Somber said, you guys should have rotated a year ago.
We gotta regroup and reset. And we gotta stand in front of the table and not like behind it.
I feel great.
Just stop here next one. I'm gonna hack round. Oh fuck. Oh my god, I'm so bad.
Okay. So the biggest thing I'm noticing is you're spending an extraordinary amount of time on speed. Your teammates are lower around you. I'm not sure why you're on speed. You're solo healing right now. You need to be, unless you're going to boost them out, you need to be healing. That's primarily the number one thing I'm noticing. Is this whole section? Let's see from 6:34 until that Winston primals. We'll see how much time it is. Let's see how much time is put on speed. So actually, all I need to do is see how much time is put on healing and then subtract. Okay, so we have starting now. So that's 1 second. So we have about 4 seconds total. 7.
We gotta regroup and reset. And we gotta stand in front of the table and not like behind it.
I feel great.
Just stop here next one. I'm gonna hack round.
I'm not sure why you boost here. This could have been a good useful boost to get the rotation out, but you guys don't call for a play to go in, so I'm not sure why you boost this.
Oh fuck.
Okay. There's no reason for you to be speeding here. Like so you have critical, low, low. You need to be healing.
Oh my god, I'm so bad.
Like your tracers call for healing, and then you're still on juice. Like. Yeah, you're not okay. You're not doing any healing output with Lucio. Like you're playing a the Lucio style you're playing right now is very like non-wall righty DPS stinky. Like you're basically just DPSing right now. Like you're toggling your speed, but you're just staying on speed, but occasionally toggling healing for a second, which isn't going to do anything for anyone. So I would highly recommend that you need to be doing way more healing here. Like your Rhine is low, and you speed away. Like,
Let's group up.
see, like you look. What do you? Okay, you need to be healing.
No, don't die, please.
Yeah, I would. Okay, what I would recommend you do to get used to it for a game, unbind your speed, and only heal for one game, and get used to it.
We're not all here, Ryan. We're not all together.
Because the only time I see you heal is when the Mercy's back, and he's already healing Ryan, so. I'm not sure why you sound barrier here. There is no need to sound barrier this. Okay, so like when you're somber EMPs, unless you guys are in danger of an incoming enemy ult or something, there's no reason to sound barrier. Especially what you need to do as a Lucio, like in this situation, you need to pay attention to the ults that are coming out. You need to listen for EMP. EMP happens, you need to like wait to see if any of your team uses CC. If your team uses CC, then you don't need to sound barrier because they can't do anything. They're EMP'd and they're shattered. Like there's no way you guys die. So this is kind of like a waste of EMP or a waste of sound barrier.
Anna one. Very careful.
Skip ahead.
Dunk one. Oh no, I'm not lagging. This is so bad.
Yeah, again.
Okay, one away.
The biggest thing I'm noticing is there seems to be no rhyme or reason for your speed boost. You just seem to kind of get it, and you just seem to kind of go with it. You're just like, oh, I have speed, let's go. No. Speed is useful for like 2 reasons. 1, initiations. 2, escapes. Like for your team. I'm not talking about you solo, just for your team. It's really good for initiation, really good for escape, and then 3, zoning. So it's really, really great if you're in the middle of a fight and you can kind of zone your team around, right? The way you're using it, like you're amplifying the situation for your speed boost or whatever, doesn't really fit. It doesn't really make sense. In situations where you need to be healing more, or you're speed boosting. Situations where, and that's really it. Like you don't have a problem speeding, you have a problem healing. And so at that point, if you don't want to heal with Lucio, then I recommend you swap to a different hero, because you're not really doing anything with Lucio in this situation. Because in this situation, like I'm noticing, you're seeing people are critical and low, and you're not really doing anything to help them. You're just kind of still like left clicking to build sound, and that's not good. So this is a good swamp.
This is going to hurt.
Anna one.
You're going to be okay.
Mercy one.
Lights off.
What the fuck?
Yo, the healers
What?
are
What was that?
Lights off.
Mercy one.
Maybe you lagged? I have never seen this before. What the fuck? I have never seen this before. Interesting. Anyway, sorry. Let's keep going.
Yo, the healers are always one right now.
So this is kind of the same thing on the opposite thing. Your positioning is the same issue here. It's just flip-flopped. Now you're holding here, when in reality you could just hold here and take yourself out of line of danger here. Like, if you're gonna hold here, then I would expect you to be trying to do damage over here as well. But you're not. If your focus is only healing, then take yourself out of the equation from taking damage. Just move to a different LOS if you can. So you could position here or here and heal this choke and take no damage. That's what I would do if I'm not gonna like fire amongst the enemy or chuck offensive anti-nades. Something I would like to see you do more is go for more offensive anti-nades, but that's besides the point right now.
I got John. Mercy and Anna are all on. You guys should like be getting a little free real estate.
Again, I haven't heard anybody talk besides this one person. Not sure why that is.
Jump on. Nice. It's just Anna. It's just Anna on the right. And Anna behind. Push cart. 3 on cart. Always 3 on cart. Heal me, heal me.
The payload has reached.
We can kill, man.
I don't know why you slept that.
He's right here. Oh, they got Brigitte now. They don't like me.
Let's go probably. I don't know.
Careful, Ryan. They have Brigitte.
My ultimate is almost ready.
I like the attempt. I like the attempt.
My ultimate is ready.
Okay, so like, I'm not sure why you position it.
Their monkey's chasing
Like,
me. One of their main tanks on.
You're powered up. Get in there.
You shouldn't have nanoed this. You should have nanoed your Ryan here. That's okay.
Anna with, Anna with. Got him. Push cart.
Rendezvous at my position.
Push cart. 3 on cart. 3 on cart.
I'm assuming you guys win this. Yeah. Biggest things I'm noticing: one, your positioning is too aggressive. You need to pick LSs that you're not going to take as much damage from. You need to be further back. Is the biggest thing I'm picking up on. You need to work on the aim. Your mechanicality, right? I think a lot of it has to do with the lag, but your mechanicality isn't what it needs to be. You need to really work on fast scoping and quick scoping in this game. You're spending a lot of time no scoping, but not a lot of time actually like really hitting your shots. And it's imperative on Ana that you do. Because if I go here, let's see if I can take a look at. Yeah, your unscoped is 47, 52%. Yeah. That's the biggest things that I'm noticing. I would encourage you to resubmit an Honor Zen gameplay where like you're not lagging. Then we can really go over it. But main thing is your Lucio. You're spending way too much time speed boosting, not enough time healing. And yeah, just resubmit another one, and then I'll be happy to review that one for you as well.